Thank you for listening to Sassy Optimist with Cindy Chapin. Well, if you listen to all my podcasts, that I changed my music, and then I'm sitting here at an airport getting ready to fly. This is a trip that 3 different things have blended together. So I've started about a week ago. Well, it was a week ago today that I flew to Minneapolis for a few days. And then I flew from Minneapolis here to Fort Myers. That's where I'm at bright and early this morning. So I'm sitting in a corner of, that's one advantage to early flights. It's kind of quiet. So you get additional background music potentially that you might be hearing. And then I fly from here to Houston. So the music that I chose, it's called Live Your Dream. And I not only like the music, but I also liked the title of the music. So just in case anybody noticed or was wondering. But anyway, so this topic here, or this podcast, is going to be kind of a variety of things. I haven't done a podcast for, almost a month now, but kind of going back to a previous one that I titled Peekaboo Can Kill You. It's really come back to mind in a sense that, I talked about different things, and of course I was being a little melodramatic on that one, but I, was thinking about the fact that I'd said that I had been, gone to a couple counseling sessions, and actually also my husband and I have gone to a few marriage counseling sessions. And so that's kind of where I want to start. First of all is, kind of that peekaboo thing, because Tim and I are wired very, very differently. He is one that, if something happens, he typically kind of moves past it quickly, and he'll say to me, gosh, you remember everything. And so, and then I get, it's not that I remember everything, but, so it kind of took me back to the peekaboo thing. So on one hand, if you ignore it, it is still there. It could potentially have an impact, but at the same time, I catch myself almost focusing on it too much. And so it's really getting that balance in between. And even actually the last time I went in to talk to my counselor, I said to her, because there's something that happened to me when I was really young and then in my early 20s, that I was like, do I really need to pick this apart? Because like on one hand, I think, let's just move past it. I kept saying, move past it. And she kept saying, you're not going to move past it. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. So sometimes I'm still trying to work through the process. So I guess I'm using you guys as my counselors, but it's getting that balance really between, not acknowledging, not talking about it. But then on the other hand, the pendulum swings too far where I'm going to say we, that myself, I'll just talk about myself, that I will sometimes spend too much time thinking about it. So that was the first thing. And the other thing is with the counseling is whether it's for yourself or for, with the relationship that you're in, it's kind of interesting. So for me personally, there was almost a little shame in it. I was like, why am I feeling like embarrassed about it? Because I thought, gosh, anything that you have that is really important to you. So I love cars. So if you had, I really would love to have an old truck someday. So if it's meant to be and I get an old truck someday, I am going to take really good care of that old truck. I'm going to make sure it's clean. I'm going to make sure the oil changes properly, that, that the tires are balanced, that, there's air, everything that it needs. I'm going to take it in and get maintenance on it. Basically take it in for a counseling session to make sure everything is good to go, even if it's running fine. So that's the way we should be with our marriage. We shouldn't be, or any relationship. We shouldn't wait until something is wrong to go in and just talk to a professional, talk to somebody who is not part of the relationship, because obviously they're viewing it from a very different perspective. And a lot of times, just very simple things that they can say or suggest will really make a difference. I know for Tim and I, just a couple times we went, it, has been very, very, very beneficial, because we've been married for 26, going on 27 years. We dated for a number of years before that. And, sometimes it's easy to fall back into just bad habits. And so she's really been amazing. And I'm going to be going back just for some additional conversations for myself. So that was topic number one. The other one, kind of going back to another podcast I had where I talked about the young man and the girl in the car that looked straight at me and then still took my parking spot, and how I never raised my voice. And I just kept saying, how do you think that's okay? And, so it's been interesting. So like I said, I'm on this extended trip. It's a total of 13 days. My husband went up to where we have a house up in the North Georgia mountains. We go up there pretty much every single weekend. And we have a neighbor at our condo that sent us a text saying, I saw somebody picking up packages. So our condo has an outside door. So, we're on the second floor, which is the main floor. So there's a lot of traffic that walks by our door. And I buy things on Amazon. And so I had Amazon packages there. And unfortunately, somebody stole them. And, it's just like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I try to remind myself that, obviously maybe they didn't have the upbringing, so they don't know right from wrong and all that kind of things. And it's so frustrating. So, it's very frustrating. So where I'm at right now is, it was actually a Yeti cup that I'd ordered for my husband, because both of us have our birthdays coming up here in a few weeks in October. And I just pray that cup brings him good blessings. I don't know. I'm just really trying to turn this into something positive. And I know that this is all happening for a reason. And so then my third topic, this is like total popcorn podcast. And what I mean by popcorn is popcorn, pops, and a random thing. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here, just kind of downloading a variety of topics is, I have admitted previously on podcasts that I've struggled with what I call approval addiction. I think typically when somebody is more of a creative brain or more predominantly a right-brained, we tend to be a little bit more wired that way, which is good because we're very aware of our environment. We're very aware of people, and I never want to lose that. But I've come a long ways not being so obsessed with, getting people's approval, because unfortunately in that process, I really started to lose myself because I was so focused on pleasing everybody else. So that's definitely come a long ways. But I work with somebody who will remain nameless, so obviously I can continue to keep my job. But this person is somebody that I have previously really looked up to, and I shouldn't say previously because I still do, but it's definitely different. And I've noticed a big change in this person's personality. And whenever I'm around them, I just feel like I don't even breathe right. It's like I feel like when I'm around this person that they're always disappointed with me, that they're always upset with me, that they're always angry with me, that they'll maybe make a comment or send an email that's short. And I had a conversation with the person that I report to, and she is a very direct person. And I said to her the other day, I said, you are so good for me. I said, because you're really helping me to kind of take back to the first thing I mentioned, which was the peekaboo. Not obsessing with what's going on. And I said, but at the same time, I need to be aware of it, because if there's something I need to change, I do want to know it, but I've just kind of got to move past it, because she's that person. She's a person just like my husband that can move past things. And I said, reporting to her has really helped me to get better at not worrying so much about, I need to talk to this person. I need to figure out why they're upset with me all the time. And so I'm very grateful. I have her, and then I have my husband, who are very much that way. So they're helping me a lot. But just going back to this other person and so I'm really trying to work on not allowing the change in their personality, or maybe it's not a change in their personality. That's the other thing I've been thinking about. Maybe it's just my awareness of it, spending, being around this person a little bit more than I have previously in years. I still do respect the position. There's a lot of things about this person that I really enjoy, and that's really what I'm focusing on. So I know I was all over the place with this podcast, and I really do hope, I don't know where you guys are at with your day or your weekend. This is actually going to be one of my longer ones. Wow, almost 10 minutes by the time I get done here. Well, anyway, thank you so much again for listening. Thank you for listening to Sassy Optimist with Cindy Chapin. Okay, that was weird. You can tell I'm such not a technical person. For some reason, it cut off.